The what, why, and wow of the car world. A MotoMan Minute begins now. Last week, the price of a gallon of gas in my neighborhood went up every single day. That, of course, got me to thinking. Yes, there are alternative technologies available today, mainly in bleeding-edge form for a select few. And in a couple of years, we'll have a lot more options. But what can you and I do today to protect ourselves from profiteering off political instability in other regions of the world? Let's take a quick look at one alternative: ethanol, showcased in a turbocharged Buick built in Germany. First, the good news. The 220 horsepower Regal Turbo is rated at 18 mpg in the city on gas. In my own around-town driving, I was able to best that by about 10%. And whether I was running gasoline or ethanol, I have to say this quasi-Buick Opel is fun to drive. And the build quality definitely says this car kommt aus Deutschland. Now, the bad news. And here's a fun fact. Which fuel has less energy per gallon? Ethanol or gasoline? Let me give you a hint. And now, the ethanol balance sheet. On the asset side, it's a little bit cheaper at the pump, it works in a car you actually want to drive, and most importantly, it's produced in this country. On the liability column, there are some questions as to the tailpipe emissions. Then there's transportation. Most ethanol in the US is produced in the Midwest, and it can't be transported in today's pipeline infrastructure. And third and most important, it competes with today's food stocks. Does that mean it's a total loss? Not exactly. 90% of the world's production of ethanol comes from two countries. Number one, the US, and number two, Brazil. And most cars produced in the home of Picanha run on ethanol. And most importantly, their production of ethanol does not compete with food stocks. So here's my suggestion. First and foremost, ethanol is only one solution of many. And number two, let's send a delegation down to Brazil and decode what they did, so we too can say bon dia to ethanol.